from dataSights, and essentially around Xero Consolidation. That is getting rid of your major challenge, which is manual data exports, cobbling together spreadsheets, manual calculations, and then sharing that data with the correct audiences. That's essentially the challenge you're facing, and that's absolutely what I'm about to show you, what we can solve in a few different ways. So we've done this for a number of companies, big and small. I think 150 Xero files is our biggest consolidation to date. And essentially the way it works is that we don't use a particular tool. We use our services to pull your data from your Xero files. And if your budgets live outside of Xero, we can pull those in from Google Sheets or Excel Online or have them hard-coded in the database. And we pull your data into a cloud database. And what that means is that you can then use Excel to pull down your consolidated data if you have custom cash flows, for example. Or we can then use that cloud data source, that reporting cloud database, as a direct query source for Power BI or any other reporting tools. And so therefore what we're doing is we're separating the data consolidation with the visualization. So to jump right into it, I'm going to switch over to my Windows machine. If you wanted to do reporting inside of Excel, instead of currently what you'd be doing is going to your X amount of Xero files, exporting your financials down to your desktop, you'd be putting those all into different worksheets, and then you'd be writing a whole bunch of VLOOKUPs, etc. in order to do the reporting. So what we do instead for clients that, for example, want to do custom cash flows is we give them access to their database. This is my own database, so I'm just going to show you. I've only got one Xero file in here, but you can at least see how it works. And right now, this, for example, I've got a mixture of systems in here. I've got an Xero, an ERP system, and various others. So what we've created is a data lake, because the first thing we usually solve is financial management reporting. Then we add other systems into the mix, and then start building a true organization-wide view, all from one consolidated data source. So clicking on the chart of accounts here, for example, we bring through all the raw data available via Xero's API. We can then load this into a sheet, and this is just a once-off exercise that we're doing over here. Let's just give it a moment. My Windows machine is not the most powerful. This isn't an indication of how fast the data will download. You'll see that now. So now we're basically saying download it to a table in a new worksheet. And now you can see it's now getting data. So I've got 74 rows loaded, and these are all the columns. The way the consolidation works, quite simply, is that if there was more than one Xero file or Xero organization in here, we could then flip between them. So if you've got 20, then we would have 20 IDs, and we could obviously join on the Xero organization table to get a friendly name, etc. But yeah, that's pretty much how the consolidation works. And then if we were to save this, and then tomorrow, for example, open it up to refresh the data that we'd be refreshing in the background, we just have to go data refresh, refresh all, and whether we pull down the profit and loss or the balance sheet or the invoices or the whatever, we could pull all that data down, and whatever VLOOKUPs we have built off of this data will be automatically refreshed. So instead of you going, so in summary, instead of you going to 20 different Xero files and downloading 20 different trial balances, we could hit a button and pull down one profit and loss table, one balance sheet table that would have all 20 organizations inside of there, and then whatever logic you wanted to build over the top of that would automatically work. So that's how we help from the one source automate Excel. What is more usual, and now we're in Power BI desktop, is we've connected to the same data source, and we've built some reports, which are financial management reports. It is completely flexible in how you want it to look like. This one, for example, has got 5 Xero files across the top. If you don't want it to look like that, if you want it to look like your investor board pack, just let us know that's what we do, essentially. Or depending on how advanced you are, we can show you how to do it, or you can do it yourself on top of our automated data set. This client chose to use zero eliminations through tracking categories. We can pull those in from a Google Sheet, or we can pull them in from Excel Online, or we can hard code them into the database. There's also a custom chart of accounts here, pretty much just an EBITDA, etc. But the client rolls up some of the data in here. They exclude some chart of accounts. So again, it comes down to how you want it represented, not how we say this is how a financial management report should be. So from here, for example, we can go and say, okay, these are the actuals versus budget. Again, we're using the Xero budgets here for this particular example, but there's nothing stopping us, as we've done for other clients, to pull in budgets from an external source that make more sense to your organization. This is just a little feature where you can go and hit what the expense is as a revenue percentage. So fuel, diesel, when it refreshes, will show you at a glance across all the expenses, across all the different Xero files, what is a percentage of revenue. Because we put everything into a nice, neat table, so you can see that this all comes from probably the P&L report view. It becomes very easy to essentially create and modify different forms of the visual. So you can see here we've got budgets versus actual as a sort of bar chart, percentage of revenue. So we can actually, because everything's coming from one consolidated table, you can actually click on one cell and that will refresh the other visuals. When you've published this to PowerBI.com, or we do that, you can then pin these particular visuals up to a separate dashboard and then tailor that to your audience. Most audiences outside of financial management aren't too bothered around looking at a profit and loss style thing. So having the profit and loss there is important, but then having a few different kinds of visuals over the top of it that can be filtered and then pinned to separate dashboards and shared with those individuals, that means that you're focusing on just what they want to see, essentially. Just onto a final example. And this is where what we've done is I think it's 8 Xero files, all in different currencies. FX rates are pulled in from Google Sheets. If that's applicable or not too much of a big deal. We have both tracking categories in here. And essentially we can just go and say, look, we've obfuscated the data a little bit. So these aren't obviously the real business units. These are just sort of scrambled a little bit. But you can go and drill down. And this is particularly focusing on expenses across all different eight different files, with the amounts both in the root currency or the native currency, and then converted to US dollars, because this company reports in US dollars. And so similarly, you can then go and select a particular employee if you want to focus on an employee, etc. Or you can go and focus on a particular organization, etc. And if what we're doing in this particular example is we're not just pulling through the financials, we're pulling through the raw journal lines via the API, which means that whilst you can't see the description here, you can actually go in and click on a particular cell that will go and bring back just those, actual line items entries. So you can go from a very quick sort of macro level down and drill into, a very quick detailed level. And so the way that dashboards and reports work differently in Power BI is that this is a report, for example. We could then say, okay, look, we don't want somebody to come into a report to see this all the time. So we can either pin a particular visual to a dashboard, or we could go and pin a live page, for example. What that means is that we can actually keep the filters, etc. And we can create a new dashboard and call this expenses consolidation. And now that we're in PowerBI.com, this is kind of all native to Power BI. And here is our live page here. And so this will allow, a more high-level user to then do a bit of drilling down. If they really want to go into the report, they just simply click on the report, and they will then go to the underlying report. And usually we have a lot more report pages here to do more analysis, etc. Okay, I hope that has been useful. Any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much.